We don't have all of this in the country where I come from. So if you come here newly and you're not privy to this information, you might not be able to access it. That as PR, you can sponsor your family to come into Canada. With your PR card, you have access to visit so many countries. If you're coming from outside to access care in Canada. In fact, if you know how much it is, you thank God that you're a PR. So if you're a PR holder, you need to call the government so that you can receive the benefits that your child has. And even if you don't give birth to your child here, as PR holder, immediately you get here, your child still gets the child benefit. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mulala, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 10 benefits of being a PR in Canada. So this video was born out of the fact that a friend of mine who recently came to Canada on work visa but got a PR just very recently spoke to me about what are the benefits of being a PR. She came in with work visa, right? So she was just feeling like she doesn't want to cut herself short. There might be some benefits that she doesn't know about, and I need to speak to her about it. So I've not had the time to really speak with her, but while doing the research for her, like trying to get her to know all of the things she should know as a PR in Canada, I felt like, wow, there might also be some other persons that would need this video. Coupled with the fact that I had a question from a subscriber of mine who says that she'll be coming in with PR and she wanted to know if her kids have access to education or she needs to get like student visa and the likes for them. So I was just like, I need to shoot this video. It will speak to somebody will need this, and that's why this video is coming today. So let's dive into this video. I'm going to be talking really briefly because I don't want this video to be long, and I also want you to get the benefit out of this video. So the first thing is that as a PR, you have access to free healthcare. So every province have access to, like, you have health insurance from your province. And as a PR, for most cases, you actually don't need to pay if you go to the hospital. Like for birthing, for healthcare, for anything that has to do with your health, you really don't have to you really don't have to pay. It's free. And I'm speaking about this first because when I came into Canada, I came in pregnant, and I heard people tell me at the time that when you come in, you have to wait for 3 months to be able to access the healthcare. Yes, for some provinces, you have to do that. But if you are in a province like Alberta, you don't need to wait for 3 months. You have access to immediate healthcare. The only thing you need to do is to make sure that you get your health card. So that's the first one. For every province, you get access to free healthcare as PR. That's one of the biggest benefits because you don't get to pay anything. If you're coming outside, like if you're coming from outside to access care in Canada, in fact, if you know how much it is, you thank God that you're a PR. So that's the first one. The second one is that you have the right to work in Canada as a PR. So if you're a PR, you don't necessarily need to have work visa. In fact, you don't need to have a work visa because you have access to work. And for you to have access to work in Canada, like, you can do anything you like. Yes, I know that there are some restrictions to licensing and the likes, but you don't have to get a work visa to work in Canada as a PR. The third one is access to education. As PR, you have access to going to school free, like for your kids. If you come in as PR, your kids have access to go to school without having to pay. And let me put like a caveat to it. There are some schools that you still need to pay something, but you're not paying like tuition. That's from like the lowest level, from grade 1 to grade 12. You're not paying school fees. I understand that some schools collect a token for school bus and some other things, but you are not to pay for tuition if you're going to school in Canada as a PR. Now, if you come in as PR and you want to go back to school like postgraduate level, or you want to go to post-secondary education, maybe you want to go back to do your bachelor's of education like I am doing right now, or you want to do anything that has to do with a post-secondary education, you would pay as if you're paying like a citizen. So what I mean is you will pay like domestic fees, you won't pay international school fees, and international school fees is quite expensive. So for PR, you get to pay what the citizens are also paying, which makes sense. The next one is access to social benefits. As a PR, you get access to some benefits that most people don't know this. And it's not like they are quite hidden, it's because most people really, from where they're coming from, they don't have access to these things. So getting here, you might not know. Now, access to social benefits in the sense that access to EI, that's employment insurance, access to pension, access to some other social benefits like the climate action payments, the GST payments. We don't have all of this in the country where I come from. So if you come here newly and you're not privy to this information, you might not be able to access it. So let me give you examples of what I'm talking about. Access to AI in the sense that in Canada, for a pregnant woman, once you deliver, you get access to 1 year maternity leave or 18 months, 1 year paid maternity leave. If you were working before and you gave birth after working, you can take a whole 1 year where the government pays you back. Now, I can't talk too much on this. If you want to know more about this, you need to read up on it. Aside from that, you have access to pension. Yes, you'll be contributing to your pension, and once you retire, you can get that. You also have access to climate action. For this climate action, I need to read out to you guys because I cannot put everything in my head, so that I know that I'm reading the right information to you guys. So for this climate action payment, it's called Climate Action Incentive Payment, and it's a tax-free amount that the government gives like intervally. I think they give it like 3 times in a year. So after every 4 months, that's quarterly, yeah. So they give it quarterly to some particular provinces. So you need to research if your province is part of the people that they pay this money to. So they give it quarterly, like I said earlier, and this is to offset all of the carbon things that are going on in the community. I don't know how they do this, but I know that there's more information about this climate action payment, and they pay this money according to your family size and according to your income size. So according to your family size they pay, and according to your income. So when you get into Canada, there's a document you have to fill and the likes after you get in, and that also translates into your GST. So GST is Good Services Tax. So the government gives you back some money at intervals. I think it's also quarterly. And this money, if you don't know, I think that once you file your first tax, the government starts to give you. So even if you don't know, you will get the money once you're able to file your first taxes. And if you were not given, like maybe you got into Canada last year, maybe like ending of last year, and you filed your taxes in April, and you were not getting the money previously, they would backdate all your payments to all of the things that you were supposed to have before and pay all of them to you. They won't cheat you. But you need to know these things. This is why I'm telling you that you have access to some social benefits like this GST I just talked about, climate action payment, pension, employment insurance, so many other things. You just read up social benefits in Canada and you discover that as PR, you have access to all of these benefits. Now let's move to the next one. So the next one is family sponsorship. As PR, in fact, almost everybody knows that as PR, you can sponsor your family to come into Canada. Now, there are different ways they do this through immigration. Like some provinces allows you to bring in your family like because you are here. So they do something like Saskatchewan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Saskatchewan, I know that they do the SIMP, like they allow you to nominate your family members to come into Canada. Like, how cool is that? Alberta used to do that. I don't know if they've stopped, but as at last year, it was still in process, whereby you get to bring your family into Canada just because you're here. And on the general level, for federal skilled and the likes, that's the express entry, your family member gets 15 points just because you are a PR in Canada. So these are the benefits of you being a permanent resident in Canada. You can sponsor your family. So let's say if you have a spouse in Nigeria or in your home country, You can sponsor your spouse to come to Canada just because you're PR, and that's how it works. So these are real life benefits of being a permanent resident in Canada. Another one is free access to mobility in and out of Canada. If you are a PR, you only need your PR card to move in and out of Canada. So if I want to go back to my own country, Nigeria, today, and I decide that, oh, tomorrow I book my flight, I'm leaving, I can go to Nigeria and still come back. I can go in and come. I can go in and out as much as possible because I am a permanent resident in Canada. Another thing is that with your PR card, you have access to visit so many countries. You can look it up. You have access to visit countries that you do not know that you could visit. Like with my passport, I could not go anywhere else except, like, I don't think I could go to so many other places. But right now, because I have my PR card, I'm a permanent resident of Canada, I can visit some countries because I am a PR holder. So if you want to book your vacation right now as a PR, please start booking those vacations. You only need your PR card to get into these countries, and that's really sweet. The next one is this integration support. So as PR, when you get into Canada, they offer you services that will help you settle in. And what I mean is this, that the government have some agencies that are already put in place that would help you settle down in Canada. That's because you're PR. They want you to settle well, they want you to come in and also have time to enjoy yourself. And settling in a new country is not easy. So they put these agencies there to help permanent residents to settle in and settle well. One of these agencies, I have talked about so many of them in my previous video. Maybe I will link them in this video. But one of them is CIWA, one of them is CCIS. And I enjoy the services of CCIS. And there are so many other services that you could enjoy because you're a permanent resident of Canada. I know as much as possible that as somebody with a work visa, most of these agencies don't service them. They don't service them because these agencies are mainly for PR, and you need to know about them to be able to take advantage of them. They would help you. Most of them help you find a job. Most of them help you settle in, give you bus passes. They just want you to integrate well into the system. And these are one of the benefits that you will enjoy as a PR in Canada. Now, another one, I think this is the ninth one. Now, this ninth one is about finances. Now, if you are a PR, you have access to financial stability. Financial stability in the sense that I understand that it might not be easy settling down, but in the long run, if you're able to build your credit, if you're able to get a job, if you're able to settle in the long run, you will see that you'll be financially stable. It might not come very quickly, but becoming a PR, you'll be able to buy houses and do some other things, which I'm not sure that people with work visa, because I checked it, and with work visa you have to have stayed for like 3 years before you're able to buy a house. So imagine being financially stable but you're not a PR holder, which is why this is one of the benefits of being a PR. Because as a PR, if you have your credit history and everything is right, you can buy a house as quick as you want. I've had friends of mine who bought a house in the space of 1 year, 2 years. And as a work visa holder, you might not be able to do that. It will take time for you to be able to own a house in Canada. But as a PR holder, you have access to be able to settle in well, and be financially stable. Now, the 10th one, and this one I really love. As PR holder, in fact, this is everybody though, but as PR holder, it's more sweeter. Like it's really sweet, because if you give birth to your child in Canada, your child automatically becomes citizen. And if your child becomes a citizen, you're a PR holder, you immediately start receiving child benefits for your child. Like what I mean is CCB, the child benefits, you immediately start receiving it. If you are not a PR holder and you just come in to do birth tourism for your child, best believe that all of the benefits that should be given to your child will not be given because you're not a resident in Canada. So as PR, you get to enjoy this child benefits. It's for your child, yeah. But then if you are not a PR holder and you come in, yes, your child becomes citizen, but you don't have access to these benefits. So if you're a PR holder, you need to call the government so that you can receive the benefits that your child has. And even if you don't give birth to your child here, as PR holder, immediately you get here, your child still gets the child benefits. So if you give birth to your child in maybe Nigeria, for example, and you become a PR here, you can still get child benefit for your child. You don't necessarily need to give birth to your child here to access those benefits. How sweet is that? This is like the last one and the biggest one for me. So what is this last one? Because it's like the bonus, the icing on the cake, is that as PR, you only need, because your PR card is valid for 5 years, but as PR, you need 3 years out of the 5 years, 1,095 days. If you have stayed 1,095 days in Canada, which is the equivalent of 3 years, you can file for citizenship. So, after spending 3 years as a permanent resident in Canada, you have access to becoming a citizen in Canada. And this is the icing on the cake. This is the sweetest for me. Although, yes, if you don't spend up to that in Canada, you can still renew your PR card. Like you are still in Canada and you didn't spend up to that. Maybe you're going back and forth from Canada to another country or your home country. You can always renew your PR card, which is quite good. But the sweetest for me is that after spending 3 years in Canada, I'm looking forward to it because I'll be 3 years in Canada, not this year, in 2025. I still have 1 more year to go. And after becoming 3 years or 1,009, after spending 1,095 days in Canada, you get to file for citizenship, which is quite sweet, which is exciting. It's one of the biggest benefits of becoming a permanent resident in Canada. So these are like the few benefits that I was able to put together, especially for this person, Tammy, in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I hope she's watching this video. This video is for you and every other person who have asked one question or another. And congratulations to Tammy. She recently got a PR in Canada. She and her family, her child is a citizen, guys. So, but she recently got a PR in Canada and she needed this video. And that's why I'm shooting it just for Tammy and for other persons who would also be needing the benefits. Like they'll be asking, are there benefits to being a PR? Yes, there are benefits, sweet benefits to being a PR in Canada. And I have listed them out for you. I hope that you are able to enjoy these benefits. And if you're watching this video and you want to be a PR in Canada, I hope that God helps you to achieve your dreams and come to Canada, because Canada is sweet, Canada is enjoyable. Yes, we have all these ups and downs. It's not heaven, really, guys. Canada is not heaven, but at the same time, we have all of these benefits and we're enjoying them, and we are grateful to God for that. And I pray that if this is your wish, you're watching this video, if this is your wish, it will come to pass by the special grace of God. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.